Chief and I and Zach were able to make it to I called it minicamp practice. It's actually an OTA. Is it? No, it's a mini camp practice. I said OTA, but it's actually the mini camp.
Yeah, this
practice.
is mandatory stuff.
Yeah,
baby.
it's mandatory stuff.
This is for the big dogs.
You figure you would figure I figure it out by the time, but I just haven't.
I mean, you had the off week.
I'm still struggling. I bet you've been saying I've been struggling the last 3 years with you. Is what you're probably saying.
Again, not true.
You're just
your imagination when it comes to coworkers.
Hey, speaking of
all coworkers hate Brian and think he's the worst employee ever in his own mind.
When really it's only about half of them.
Only half of them. But you know, it's funny. Speaking of imaginary, Chief, you notice that we kicked a field goal without a goalpost today?
Man, that was one of the best observations of the whole practice today. They do this whole big thing. And
it's a 2-minute drill.
It's a 2-minute drill, end of game. Okay, we're hurrying up. All right, now we got to kick the game-winning field goal. Here we go. And
clock's running out.
They're kicking it on the side of the field that doesn't have any uprights. They're just kicking phantom field goals, I believe is what you coined it, Broaddus. And that's what they were doing. They were practicing phantom field goals today in end of game situations. Game's on the line. Let's kick it into the wall of nothing.
Yeah, we had
build your confidence.
Hey, you made it. What was funny, Lucius, was that the NFL had their officials here today. Bill Vinovich and his crew were here today working. And so there were 2 referees stationed supposedly under field goals that weren't there. So I was kind of wondering if they were going to raise their hands. Like, was it really good? Was it really good?
It was a goofy deal.
It was kind of a goofy thing. But yeah, but you know, I'll tell you what though, overall, Chief, I don't know about you on that one, but I kind of felt like 2-minute drill was pretty sloppy offensively.
Yeah, well, and even defensively, how many penalties did you see? They
had trouble lining up a couple of different times.
2 or 3
especially with the twos. The 2 defense was having trouble getting lined up.
But the 1 offense had an illegal motion, and they had some weird stuff going on as well. I mean, for me, and I don't know, I'm not used to being at these. I don't know how crisp an OTA or minicamp practice usually is. Sure. I feel like this is kind of the time of year where you got no wide receivers that you're actually planning on playing with for the most part, outside of Tolbert and maybe Fehoko. But, I mean, you're interchanging stuff, and I don't know how clean it's supposed to be right now.
I kind of felt like the premise of it all was to try and get Dak and the line and stuff and everybody, because it's one of those things where it's a hurry situation,
right?
And you know, it's like they call it thunder, where they run the field goal team out there quickly as the clock's running down. Mm-hmm. And there were a couple of times where they got going and ball tackled in bounds, and now the clock's running and they didn't get the kicks off.
Right, they run out of time.
And you know, so it was kind of one of those things where I didn't kind of feel like it was the best situation, you know, with that whole thing.
Love that they're practicing those situational things, because that's where sometimes with the game management, clock management, that stuff where they fart away games. And so it's nice to know that, hey, even this early, you know, in June, they're practicing this kind of stuff, but it did not look overly clean, to your point.
Yeah, I saw more, and Gavin, this would be to something that you would maybe keep an eye on.
What's that?
No reps at guard for Tyler Smith, except at the very, very end. Most of his reps today were taken at offensive tackle. And
Tyron was available?
And Tyron was available at practice today.
Mm-hmm. And when Tyron was starting, it was McGovern starting at guard. It was not Tyler Smith.
Yeah. So the majority of his work today, like I said, was placed at that left tackle spot.
And how'd Tyron look?
You know, Tyron didn't look bad. I mean, but
looks good.
But it's, you know, the thing about it is, I know I talked about it earlier that Sam Williams got hurt, like a hand or a finger or something like that.
It was right when we left.
Yeah, just got a report back from that he's okay. That's not that maybe that you're worried about. Maybe did he break a finger, break a wrist, break a hand, something like that. But the report from camp was that everything appears to be okay.
And that play was actually against Tyler Smith at left tackle, and Sam Williams did beat him there. Now, Tyler Smith, for the most part, looks good on majority of the reps that I see him take. Sam Williams was a beast today, though.
Yeah,
he murdered Wolchuk a bunch of times.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I was worried about that a little bit, because Wolchuk's had some good practices. But man, today, you know, they just give Sam Williams, like, and Eric and I were talking about this. Physically, he looks every bit the part there.
big, jacked, and long. Like the dude's got long arms.
Yeah.
He
but he
looks
was just
ready-made.
overpowering. Let's go today.
Yeah.
And I mean, just taking him back. It wasn't even like bro, like it wasn't moves. It wasn't arm over, swim, whatever you want to do. It was like just straight
pure power.
It's like he knew that he could run. Like, I can't run Tyler Smith back like this, but I can run this other guy back into the quarterback.
And I like that. From the hierarchy standpoint, I want Sam Williams to be dominating the Willetzkos on the team right now.
Yeah,
like, hey, Sam Williams, you're the second round guy. You're the guy that I need Sam Williams to be productive game one.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, though, a lot of Connor McGovern playing as the starter. If you look at the starters on the offensive line of the first team, was Smith at left tackle. That would be Tyron Smith, and then McGovern, Broaddus, Martin, and then Steele. So I don't know what the deal is. Maybe when we get to, when this camp and stuff is all over with, maybe when we get to Oxnard, it will be more of Tyler Smith in there. Man, I just cannot believe that they would not give him, try and start him at left guard.
Yeah, I'll get a little bit more queasy about it once we get into training camp and when the ones are out there and Tyron is on the field and actually taking reps at left tackle. I will get queasy if I'm seeing more McGovern starting at left guard than Tyler Smith. But I'm still holding out the hope of, hey, Tyler Smith is still the rookie. They're clearly trying to get him reps at two spots. They're working it in. Zach Martin's like, hey, when I showed up here, my first rookie offseason wasn't like I was just plug and play with the starters constantly throughout camps and stuff. So, but that'll be super disappointing if Tyler Smith is not starting at guard.
Yeah,
come on.
Unless they want him to start at tackle.
Which is,
Yeah, that's the.
I don't know why, if you're planning to have Tyron Smith, you'd spend so much time with Tyler Smith at left tackle.
I think because
McGovern's going into his final year.
But Tyron Smith is going to miss time. And so I guess they're really getting ahead of the idea that Tyron Smith is going to miss.
Yeah, and then just go ahead and get him reps while he can, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a possibility there's a big explanation for why they haven't used this cap space yet. They're just they're gonna do some midsummer moves here. They're gonna be a little bit surprising. Set themselves up to really have a clean cap in 23 and 24.
That would be very interesting if that's the case. Okay, what'd you think about what you and I were talking about on the way home, or the way back to the station with Simi Vahoko and then Tolbert. This is the first time I've seen. I don't know what Tolbert did last week. Did he do anything for you last week?
Last week, looks
wide
like
receiver from South Alabama.
Yeah. Tolbert caught a touchdown from Dak in the team stuff last week when we were there.
So he's getting more opportunity. I thought he looked pretty good catching the football today.
I thought Tolbert looked really, really good, and Dak was trying to get him the ball. He had a couple of nice plays, catching touchdowns in the red zone stuff from Dak. So that was really, really nice. I thought Vahoko had a really nice day today. He had one drop touchdown, but otherwise,
he was open on that play too.
Yeah, he was.
Ran a really good route, but I've noticed too, though, we've talked about, and Bobby and I were talking about this too, that also that Dak is spending a lot of time with Tolbert. Like between plays when they're on the side, they're kind of talking about some things, maybe trying to get him a little bit more up to speed. In what's going on.
Dak knows they're gonna have to depend on this dude. From right out of the gates.
Absolutely, though, and I'll tell you what, it was really, really interesting. I thought the secondary had a pretty good day today, too. I was talking about Anthony Brown, I thought did a pretty good job today, and Diggs as well, had a good day.
Yeah, he had a pick in the red zone drills on Dak.
Yeah.
Pollard falls down, Diggs interception.
Yeah, there you go. So some of the observations from minicamp today there, folks.